Today I was really inspired because my girlfriend said that she really thought I was good at drawing frogs. I decided to draw a lot of frogs. I think frogs are really weird. They're really slimy and sticky and that's kind of gross. A lot of people I knew had frogs and I always thought they were the weird kids, and they ended up being. So I guess I was right. I think my sister had a frog and it dried out. Anyways, this frog that I'm drawing now is called the Diane's Bare-Hearted Glass Frog. Bare-hearted because you can see through its belly into its heart. It has see-through skin, so you can see its internal organs from its belly. It was discovered in 2015. It's a Costa Rican frog, found in the Talamanca Mountains. And whenever this frog went viral on social media, Disney created a video with Kermit, and where he says, "Googly eyes run in our family." I was going to do a Kermit impression, but I thought that would be terrible. I'm pretty sure I made the right choice. Next one I'm drawing here turned out to be the Argentine horned frog. This guy looks very, very pissed off. Its whole thing is that the reason its strategic niche is filled is he sits down and just has his mouth open and just waits for things to crawl into it. That's a crazy strategy for a frog to have, or an animal to have. Just sit around and wait for you to step into its mouth. But that's what it does. And it doesn't matter how big you are, this frog will not give up. It is known for having a very aggressive attitude and will literally eat anything that steps in its mouth. It doesn't matter. People have ran across this frog dead with a giant like snake or gopher or something in its mouth, and it's suffocated actually. So it will eat things bigger than it can survive. Also, this is definitely the inspiration for Futurama, Hypnotoad. The nickname for this frog is Pac-Man, and it's because most of its mouth takes up its body. And I don't need to explain why it's called a horned frog. It's not the only horned frog, also. There's many other. I think it's around 10. It lives in the grasslands of Argentina, Uruguay, and Brazil. But yeah, it's a pretty cool frog. Alright, here's the third frog I start drawing here. Its nickname is Horror Frog, but it's actually called Hairy Frog. And that's because when it's breeding, the males develop hair like dermal papillae. Like dermal means skin and papillae means like little tendrils, like we have those in our intestines to absorb food. But these guys absorb oxygen with them. And the reason that it's like that is because they sit on their eggs and they sit on them for a very long time, I suppose, and they just don't want to move. So they just, instead of breathing or something, they use papillae. I don't know. It's weird. And these guys are definitely the weirdest frogs I've drawn or I've ever thought of, because not only do they have that dermal papillae, they also have retractable claws, quote unquote, like Wolverine. And it's really similar to Wolverine because it's actually their bones, and the way that they extrude them is breaking their bones, basically. It's connected, so it's a bone that's connected to another bone by cartilage or collagen, connected with collagen. And the way that it extracts out is it breaks that connection. So if it's in trouble, I don't know, very much John Wick or something, it breaks his arm and then it keeps fighting. I don't know. But he must break this collagen first and push the claws through its skin. Pretty gnarly. Yeah, that was the craziest frog. This next one I hope you're familiar with. This is the coolest freaking frog ever. He's very grumpy. He's from South Africa, specifically only a 6.2 mile wide strip of coastline in Namibia and South Africa. He's got that squeaky voice. I'm sure you guys seen him in the memes on Instagram or wherever. But interestingly, I don't think many people know this, but you can see through its belly too. So I guess that Diane's Bare-Hearted Glass Frog isn't that unique or cool, except it's Kermit. I think he just looks like a frog. I think Kermit looks like him, not the other way around. So the desert rain frog is what we're talking about. His body to leg ratio is too skewed, so he cannot hop or leap, and so he just gets very angry. He doesn't need any water to survive, which is like super unique to frogs. He absorbs water through the ground, through his skin. I think that's why his skin is see-through down there, just to absorb sand, water, moisture from the sand. And these are critically endangered because there's so many open cast diamond mining. If you don't know what open cast mining is, it's just those giant mega pits you see. And yeah, it's terrible for the environment. The next one is really just quite chill and cute. Oh wait, just kidding. This one's poisonous. He's a Colombian guy. He's a golden poison frog. He's from Colombia. He's one of the most poisonous animals in the world. He's yellow, and in the wild, he has no natural predators. And this is because he's just so poisonous. There's no animal that's evolved to resist that poison. And scientists are even confused on how he resists his own poison. There's no specific mechanism that scientists have found yet to suggest a reason why he isn't poisonous himself. But it's safe to assume that he, as many other poisonous frogs, are immune to their own poison because they have protein sponges. It's a poison sponge protein. But with most poisonous animals, if you put them in captivity and change their diet, it'll lose its toxicity, which is kind of insane. So the food that they're eating really matters, just like the food we're eating. So keep an eye out on what you're eating. The next one here is the Indian bullfrog. He has a forked tongue. Usually he's brown to blend in, but during mating season they turn yellow. And they have these giant blue vocal sacs. Should really draw in color sometime. But yeah, these sacs are huge and blue. And they're vocal sacs, if you didn't know that. The reason why frogs ribbit and they have that big bulge, it's like air going through your vocal cords. It's like a bagpipe. So the reason they turn yellow is because it's mating season, but usually they're brown. They eat invertebrates, small mammals, and birds. Insane. But not as crazy as the Argentine horned frog. That guy's crazy. So here we are at the end of our journey, the Wallace flying frog. These guys are flying frogs. Pretty cool way to end off the sketching. They live almost exclusively in trees. They can glide 50 feet or 15 meters or more. And one weird thing about these frogs is that they place eggs in a bubble nest. That's pretty typical for frogs. But their young are colored in such a way that they look like feces. Nature's pretty cool. Frogs are pretty cool. Frogs are pretty cool things in nature. If you've watched this far, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know down below which frog you like the best, and let me know which frog fact you like the best. Let me know what topic you'd like me to draw next.